welcome back to another week. This week I'm spending my whole week with the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 Desert Boss. You can see already it's in this nice blue color. I've got 320 horsepower and it is built for the off-road, built for, the roads untraveled, the places where nobody else wants to go. This is built for it. So let's take a quick walk around, that'll give you my first impressions. So we'll start with kind of the front here. I love these decals. They're really nice, and it's also little Chevrolet logos. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up. Probably not, but it is. Nice daytime running LEDs. We've got the flow tie here because of the upgraded engine. We need a little bit more airflow, so check that out. And I love the red accent too, which is very nice. I've got this big, what Chevrolet is calling safari bar. I've got the ZR2 badge right here. Some fog lights down there. I don't know if you can see it, but I also have a light bar right up there, which is super nice as well. These crazy massive tires with actual bolts inside them and stuff, so that nothing's coming off while you're off-roading. That is absolutely fantastic. Got the ZR2 badge back there. Desert Boss badge. You can see we have the Multimatic DSSV dampers there as well, and I have the big Chevrolet logo right back there. I'll open the bed quick and then we'll hop in. Boom. A little bit of tie downs, a little bit of power sources right there. Big ZR2 logo right back there too. Not that heavy, easy to close. Let's actually hop in here and I'll give you my first impressions. We're just gonna, it's such a high ride height that, yeah, you gotta jump in like that. Oh my goodness. And then we're greeted by all these screens, which we will go over. But first, let me give you my first impressions. I'm gonna put you right there. All right, so driving for the second time only since I've picked it up, the Chevrolet Colorado ZR2 Desert Boss. And it is an absolute boss of a car. It's really, really big. It's a mid-size pickup. I wouldn't even really call this that small. A mid-size pickup truck that is pretty lifted, pretty high. Feels a lot like the GMC Canyon. It feels a lot like the AT4X that we drove later last year, actually, really, really later, in the winter I drove that one. Very much the same kind of ride height feel. The screens feel the same, the seats feel the same, the steering actually feels the same. But the good news about that is I love the Canyon AT4X, and so naturally I already really like the ZR2 Desert Boss. Z or Z, whatever, I don't know. The world revolves around the US, I don't know. Anyways, it is a bit more of a bouncy ride than I've found in the Canyon AT4X. I feel like this one's a lot more when you hit the bumps. The Canyon kind of handled them a little bit better, but I do have all the same drive modes. All that's the same. The steering feels exactly the same. It's pretty tight. The engine noise is the same. I've got 310 horsepower as well, which is really nice. I did drive the Z71, which was a little bit lower, but again, the same size cabin-wise as well. But obviously in the ZR2, I've got way more technology packages going on. So this is a way nicer experience than the Z71 is. And, the price is still quite high. We're at $76,000, call it 80,000 Canadian with taxes in. It's gonna be a lot of money. You're gonna pay a lot of money to own and drive one of these, or even to lease one. The truck market is only getting more expensive, and honestly, the ZR2 or the ZR1 or anything that you're gonna buy is no exception. The truck market is just absolutely ludicrous right now. But there will be people that buy this. I mean, this is one of the coolest pickup trucks I think that are available. Look at the trim I've got. Look at the black decals around. The badging is really nice. You got the really nice flow tie, which we took a look at just now, just a little bit earlier there. I've got this really sharp, bright blue color and stuff like that. You just have to love it almost. It's just such a nice color of truck. But I mean, that is maybe what you're gonna pay for mostly, and who knows if there's better options. The truck market, I don't know, the new truck market is just crazy. I don't know what the options would even be, but so far first impressions are it's pretty fast. I like the added horsepower. I like the amenities inside here. I like all the equipment and stuff like that. That's not going to get old, but it drives a lot like a Canyon AT4X. If you ever driven one of those, it's going to be better. It's going to be the same. And if you've ever driven a Colorado Z71, you're probably going to like it because it drives a little bit better than that. Obviously, the equipment is better, so you're going to like the ZR2 that much more. So I'll pick it up later on during the week. We'll go through the interior, the exterior, how things fit in here. If I have anything to pick up or do anything with, I'll make sure I show you what it's like to live with a Colorado ZR2. All right, so since it is raining out, I thought it would be a great time to show you the interior of the Chevy Colorado ZR2. So the first thing you see when you hop in is this really nice steering wheel, blacked out Chevrolet badge, no Super Cruise or anything like that. Would have been nice to see for the price of the truck. That would have been something cool to add on, but alas, we do not have it. So I have some media controls here, as well as where I can control some of the screens for my digital gauge cluster. Left-hand side, there's not too much going on. There's the trailer controls as well as the illumination. I do have 2 sets of memory seating for the driver, which is fantastic. And I've got like these Camaro-looking wheel, or this, not wheels, but it's like a Camaro-looking kind of vent. And then you can see I have like a camo kind of thing going on here as well. Looks super clean, very nice. I like the the wilderness aspect of this thing. But let's take a look at our digital gauge cluster right here. You can see that if I use this button right here on my steering wheel, I'll actually be able to flip through some of the stuff. So you can see we have Google Maps integrated into here, which is fantastic. I have a bunch of different screens on here, so you can kind of, whatever you're doing, if you're off-roading or you're just on the road, whatever, you can kind of have a screen for literally everything. So it's nice to flip through those and kind of switch them around as I go through the week. It's going to be fun. But I prefer this one. This 2-gauge one looks really nice. I like that it shows my trips, my fuel economy, all that stuff as well. And you can see, obviously I haven't put 2,000 kilometers on it or 2,400 kilometers on it. But for that, it's 16.3 liters per 100 kilometers, which, is a lot, but we're in a truck, so it's not terrible. It shows me what gear I'm in, stuff like that. I like that as well. I've got media controls as well behind the steering wheel, which is fantastic. I like how big it is, very good. No heads-up display, but I don't know. I guess you can say you don't really need one. Got a Bose sound system right up here. That's fantastic. Big digital display as well. And if you would have saw on my Z71 vehicle, or the truck that I did, you would have seen that I complained because it was like only half the screen. This should be standard. This should be how it comes across the board, and I believe it does for 2024, so that's fantastic. But yeah, continuing on with our infotainment, I've got, I believe it's run by Google as well, because we've got the Google Assistant in here. We've got a trailering mode, which is fantastic. You can see everything you need for that. I've got 360-degree camera, and it just, it's really cool because you can see my Safari bar right here. So you kind of get a gauge of, you kind of got to, make some room for that too, because you don't want to accidentally bang your Safari bar and stuff. So, things are closer than they might appear with that. And then we have like an overhead view, and I can also get the side view here. There's no trailer connected, so I don't have a camera for that, but I do have a camera underneath, and I can actually give them a spray because they're kind of dirty. So check that out. Then I have another one for both angles, which is also really cool. We love that. I love that on the Canyon, and I love it on this too. So there you go. We've got a camera for both. Let's give that guy another wash. It's still not clean enough. That's fun to use. So excellent camera systems. That's something we lacked to see on the Jeep Wrangler. So we've got Wi-Fi hotspot, vehicle controls. My lighting controls are actually right up here. Some people will hate that. Personally, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. And it's actually a really nice climate control screen as well. It's a very nice infotainment display. They've done a very, very good job. It's very detailed. I've also got all the physical buttons that anybody could ever want or need. I've got heated seats and ventilation here. That's very nice to see, especially a necessity in the price point. Dual zone automatic climate control, of course. And then I have my locking differentials here, these like nice auxiliary buttons. The auto start stop button is right there. We turn that off. Lane keep assist button, my auxiliary power, which I believe is connected to a light bar, but I haven't tested it out yet, but I will, and I will film it as soon as I do. And then I have this button that's going to roll down all the windows, but it's a rainy day, so we're not going to be doing that. Then I'll move some of this crap wires out of the way. But so I have a wireless charging pad with like the camo, really nice. You saw that on the Canyon as well. Standard shifter with the Chevrolet badge, no problem there. We've got our transfer case as well as our drive modes that we can go over. I've got off-road, I've got tow and haul, I've got terrain, I've got a Baja mode, and then we're back to normal. So it's perfectly set for that, and I like the graphics that they give you on that. And then I have the, 2 high, 4 low, very standard stuff. Parking brake is electronic, 2 cup holders, quite a bit of storage. My only nitpick, and we can really call this a nitpick, is that I have to remove this to get into the deeper part of my storage. I'd have preferred it be, just something I can lift up, or like a 2-stage one. Just makes it less of a hassle. But that's just me, because I actually use my center console. I store a lot of stuff in here. Then we have our USB-C and normal USB. It's useful when you have a lot of stuff to charge, because things run out of battery so quick when I'm filming. So that's good to have as many as you can. I don't have a digital mirror, which does suck. I would hoping to be able to see one, but I don't. But then we can look at the overall dashboard. I like this leather with the green stitching throughout. The ZR2 badge looks absolutely fantastic there with, again, those nice vents. And we got the seats too, also like a black and gray with green stitching. It's it's not a boring interior at all. As well as we got a little sunroof. No sunroof for the back though. Baby seat fits nicely on. Maybe if I have time, I'll take you through the back seat. But yeah, overall, this is such a good interior, nice place to spend time. But is it worth the money? That's kind of up to you. It's got everything that you could want, minus a few things. And I feel like the price point is going to be very high for a lot of folks. So I will pick it back up later. Maybe we'll do some more driving, and I'll talk about like performance if I can and stuff like that. All right, welcome back to another evening, a colder evening with the Chevy Colorado ZR2. Let's do a cold start if we can here. I'm going to come on this side of it. Let's do it. Double click this. Hey, you know what? Not bad. Little exhaust there. There's the smoke. You can see how cold it is. Some nice nighttime looking stuff. Man, these birds are going crazy. It looks fantastic. It's gonna look really good at nighttime. I'll kind of move it now because we're losing some daylight, but yeah, I want to show you what this looks like at night, outside, inside. So let's do that. I'm gonna drive to a little film location, but look how high this is. This is how I have to get into it. There's no step. This is actually a actual guardrail so that when you're driving in the rocks, you don't actually damage anything. And it's quite the jump in. It's the same thing for the rear. If I can unlock it, I'll show you. I mean, you don't get a step, you get a guardrail. It's kind of either one. But I mean, you can see just how big these rims are, these wheels are. Yeah, doesn't make for an easy entry. You got to kind of jump up. So I'll do that. Give you a startup animation too. Let's bang my camera on the wheel. All right, we're in. And then if I close this, ooh, startup animation. Chevrolet. That's cool. That's one of the best in the game. Like that. And then we press this, and everything starts. My heated seats are already on. Very nice. So yeah, let's take you through it. What it looks like at nighttime. I'm gonna go park somewhere. All right, so I finally parked somewhere, and this I never get to show you what the aux button actually does. I get to tell you that it's there, but I never get to show you when something's connected. But this time, something is. So let me press that button, and let's hop outside. I'm gonna show you what that does. So this ZR2 that I've got, the Desert Boss, comes with a light bar right there, which for some reason turned itself off. Oh, there we go. It's back on now. Okay. Don't know why I did that. That looks really cool. You can see it right there. Very nice to have. Kind of lights it up a little bit. It's not that dark out. It's still kind of the evening, so, but still you can kind of get a good shot of the daytime, I mean the full front headlights, LEDs and everything like that. Really nice. The flow tie. I really love the ride height on this thing. It just looks really cool. All lit up like this in the evening. Let's take a look at the back. I actually did kind of an oopsie, you know, because like the back isn't very big, so I have my baby and I need her stroller and stuff, so naturally I put it in the bed, but then it rained and I forgot to take it out of the bed, and this one didn't come with a cover, so my stroller got soaked. So that's a little bit of a no-no, but hey, it fit the stroller perfectly fine. Put the brakes on, didn't even move the thing. I like how that's really lit up. You can also see like the back here. If I drop lower, look at all that ground clearance we got. Yes, sir. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, this is one of my favorite trucks. This is like, I really like the Canyon AT4X, but I don't know. It's a close one between the two. They're so similar though. That's the thing. It's really down to looks. And ooh, I don't know. I think I kind of like this one a little bit better. This one's a little bit more crazy, a little bit more out there, especially with that light bar up top. I guess I'm a sucker for a light bar. It's super nice. Let's actually hop inside. I'll show you a bit of that. All right, let's get in here. Again, I got to do the massive jump, and I almost missed. So that was almost viral. Oh my goodness. The amount of times I've almost missed that jump. Okay, so at nighttime, pretty much the same thing. I'm not going to go over it again, but you can see like my steering wheel stuff is illuminated. Stuff over there is illuminated. Not much in the way of ambient lighting. Actually, nothing in the way of ambient lighting, but it's fine. I have everything I needed illuminated here. My aux, I can tell when it's on. You can kind of see that it lights up the stop sign a little bit, which is cool. And yeah, it's all perfectly laid out, perfectly fine. All this is laid out, all this is lit up, all this is lit up. This looks good. I think this is at the full brightness too. Yeah, I like my stuff at full brightness, so that's perfect. So yeah, really easy to understand how everything works in here. I'm a big fan of that. Like, you can't really see. I wish it was brighter, but I get why it's not that bright. So there you go. Little exterior tour, interior tour for the Colorado ZR2 at night. I'll pick it up later. All right, another morning with the Chevrolet Colorado. If you wanted to know what it's like to walk out to this fantastic blue beast, it's fantastic. It's just so much fun. It's just so good. Yeah, I am such a fan of it. I don't know. I think I do like it better than the Canyon, or it's just that I haven't driven the Canyon in a couple of months and I forgot what it was like. You know, despite the fact that you have to like jump up, and despite the fact that it's really expensive. Look, I'm just glad I get to drive it for a week. Look at these seats. I'm such a fan of these seats here. Like you know on the Canyon how it was like a snowboarder seat. This is more of like your off-road or rugged type of guy kind of seats here. Really, really nice. Again, for $76K, is it nice enough? I'm not sure, but people are still going to buy this. I guarantee you that. Like, I've got power adjusted seats here. I've got like everything I want and need, but really what I want to do now is I want to talk a little bit about its performance and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to do like a dual camera setup, put a GoPro there, put something there, and we'll see if it works. So let's go. Okay, so I got a camera going there, a camera going back there. Mic is on, everything's professional. So let's go. Let's take this thing for a little performance review here, and just to kind of look at it from a performance perspective. And we're going to talk about the drive modes too and stuff. But I have a little bit of extra time this morning. I've got my nice fancy shirt on, as you can see. Got my nice fancy shirt on because if you don't know, well, I have a full-time job. So sometimes you're doing important meetings and you need to not look like you don't have a place to stay. So that is what is being attempted at today. But let's talk about the performance. So I do have some drive modes. I'll kind of go through them. So the off-road mode kind of is what it is, or it says what it is there. This doesn't leave much to the imagination. It's for off-roading. And then we have our tow/haul mode. That's just for, you know, if you're going to need a little bit of extra torque to tow some stuff around. And then I've got terrain mode, which is probably like you know, for rocks and like really bad terrain, stuff like that. And it actually tells me to select 4 high just to be in that mode. I can't have it in auto, which is weird. You'd think it would just convert, but it doesn't. So there you go. And then we have the fun mode, the Baja mode, for probably the mix of everything and just going fast because the picture is some sand. I do not want you to reduce ESC right now. It is not completely dry, the roads. So let's give it a little bit of beams here. Performance shift active. Hey, you know what? That's pretty good. That's you know, I'm not expecting this pickup truck to like knock me back in my seat, but that pickup is very good and also very smooth, which is nice as well. And I don't know if the camera picks it up, probably not, because it's a little bit of a low pitched noise, but there's a little like diesel whistle almost to it. Like you can almost hear like a little, as if it's not a diesel engine by no means, but there's almost like a little dee or like a little turbo whistle, which I absolutely love the little sound of that. Let's see if we can get it to happen again here. There it is. It's for a very brief second, but sometimes like when I'm going in slower traffic, I hear it for longer. Also, we'll talk about like visibility and stuff like that is super good. I'm really, really high up above everybody. The 4-wheel drive system in this is probably absolutely fantastic. I mean, look at the tires, right? I think this thing in the winter would be fantastic. I am very happy that the snow is gone, hopefully, but it would be cool to test this in some snow or some really, really dirty off-road stuff. I don't think I'm supposed to do that because Chevrolet didn't really tell me I could, so I don't want to push it. But one of these days, I'm just going to start taking these things into the mud and drifting them around for it because I think that should be a great video. And that's where this thing, I think, excels. In the mud, the sand, the rocks, you know, just the dirt of the world. This thing just is meant to drive on them. And actually, handling on the road is pretty good, too. Like, if you remember, I had the Jeep Wrangler, and that's kind of my comparison for worst handling versus best handling in any kind of off-road kind of lifted car. Oh my goodness, this thing is night and day compared to that. And you know, I've also got, you know, some cruise control here. I'm pretty sure it's adaptive because I can adjust the gap with this thing. Yeah, the gap adjust is definitely there, so that's excellent as well. Yeah, there's just so much that's good in here. It's so much fun to use, and it's just like the look, the bright blue or like the dark blue, whatever, you know, depending on your lighting. It just looks absolutely fantastic. You can't go wrong with it. I'm a huge fan of it. I love it. so cool. I hope you enjoy this dual camera thing. So I'll try to pick it back up later. This is just kind of me testing out new ways to entertain you so that you're not bored. And you like cars and you like trucks like me. So yeah, make sure you subscribe because I'm putting so much effort into these videos. It's unbelievable. So if you reward me with clicking the subscribe button, that's all I need. I don't need you to pay for anything. I don't need you to buy anything. Just click the subscribe button. It's going to help me a lot. All right, I'll pick it back up later. Boy, driving in narrow streets with a massive pickup truck, I'm very glad that I have these 360 cameras. As you can see, like, it's really narrow on this side there. I don't know if my angle's doing it justice, but not much room for other cars to pass either. But the fact that we have the camera and stuff kind of makes things that much easier, which is really nice when you're like kind of turning around these blind corners. Good thing a lot of these streets are one ways, but yeah, big truck coming through. So yeah, it's actually really easy to navigate with this thing, especially with like the package I have. It gives us like every single angle of the truck. It really makes parking and like driving around in tight spaces really, really easy. Oh boy, this truck is extremely high. Check this out. So it's like I feel like a child when I like hang my feet out, and you gotta like find the floor first and then kind of do this, because if you don't, if your truck is dirty like mine is right now, well, you're gonna get all this all over your pants, and it's gonna affect you, especially in the winter. So you kind of really gotta give yourself a little bit of a push off, and then you're good. You eventually get used to how to get in and out of this thing, no problem. But I want to show you more exterior stuff. I just can't get enough of it. It looks like a toy in a lot of ways. It looks like something I would pull out of a Hot Wheels, package. It really does, and I find that so cool. I love the personality of it. You can see it's dirty right now, and it still looks really good. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the blue color, the decals, the flow tie, the beadlock wheels. I don't know. The whole thing just looks really good. But is it good enough for almost $80,000? I don't know. That's kind of what I want your help for. I think I know what the answer is, but I want you to tell me anyways. What do you think? You think it's worth $80,000 or close to that? It's like $76,000, $77,000, but we can call it 80 with taxes. I mean, I don't know. Personally, I don't have truck needs, so I can't really say. But if I was to get a truck or want a truck, this would probably be really, really high on my list. With the blue color, I'd get it in this. Like, I've seen the yellow one, and I think it's cool, but the blue is where it's at. Let me tell you that right now. The blue is definitely where it's at. I don't know what it is about these rugged off-road trucks. I absolutely love them. I don't need the big Goliath that is the Silverado. I absolutely love the hugeness and the compactness at the same time of these, like, the Canyon AT4X, and then this guy, the Chevrolet ZR2 Desert Boss. It definitely is a Desert Boss. But let me know what you think. Do you really like the look of this truck? And if the price point was lower, if they met, like, I don't know, say the price was at like $55K or around the $60K mark, would you even consider it? Let me know in the comments. All right, it's raining out, but we will do one last walk around for the Chevy Colorado ZR2. Let's just give you what it looks like in the rain. One last little, oh, that blue color, I'm gonna miss it. This is my last day. I'm dropping it off later tonight after the Miami Grand Prix. When I watch it, then after that, I'm just gonna go ahead and drop her off. But, oh man, even in the rain, this thing looks fantastic. I'm just gonna do one little walk around. You can see the wheels one last time, the decals, the sports bar, the nice thing there, the LED bar on top, Desert Boss badging, ZR2 stuff. And my stuff is getting wet, so I'm worried about it. Technology doesn't like rain, and so I'm gonna hop in. I'm gonna give you my final impressions. Let's do it. Okay, so unfortunately in the rain, hopefully it's not gonna make too much noise, but we're on the last day with the Chevy Colorado ZR2, and it's obviously raining, so can't help that at all, and it's not gonna stop all day. Such as the Quebec weather, it's garbage. So let's kind of try to round out our thoughts for the ZR2. It is the best looking pickup truck I've driven so far. Like, other than, I'd say maybe the F-150 Lightning was extremely cool, but it's kind of in a different class, full-size pickup. It is the best mid-size pickup that I have ever driven, that I've ever seen. It's super nice. The color's really good. It looks good when it's dirty. It looks good when it's wet. At nighttime, it looks really cool too, with the auxiliary light bar that I have in the back. it's such a nice looking thing. It's got a lot of aggressive body lines, which I like in a truck as well. And it just looks like something that I would pull out of a Hot Wheels package. That's what I've been kind of saying all week about it. It's really, really cool. It's very comfortable. The seats are comfortable. The ride quality is really good too. Those Multimatic DSSVs are obviously, the reason behind all that, but the fact that we have them on board are fantastic. The obvious, downside to it is that it is pretty expensive. It's a pretty expensive truck to own, and then when you include maintenance and all that stuff, it just probably goes, the monthly price for this thing goes through the roof, and that's no secret, right? But there are people that will walk into a dealership, and if they can financially make it work, they absolutely will. And that's just kind of where things are, and that's why the truck market is the way it is. If I sneeze on a truck, I have to pay $100. That's just where we are, and I'm not a financial expert. I don't know if that'll ever come down because, like I said, people are still buying the trucks, regardless if they cost way more than they're worth. Now, another thing I have seen, or I think that people might have a problem with, is the fact that this is only a 4-cylinder engine. But it's turbocharged, but I don't think that's what people care about. I think people wanted to see a V6 or a V8. And while, yes, sure, I agree, it would be fantastic to have a V6 or a V8 on board here. It's not a make or break kind of situation. It's not something that necessarily I care about. I think that 430 pound-feet of torque, 310 horsepower is good numbers for what this thing needs to be. I don't think we need a V6 or a V8. I could say that about any truck. Put a V6 and a V8 or a V8 and it'll be fantastic. It'll be so much better, so much worth the money. I could say that about any truck, any car, anytime. That's a fact. But I think we might be done with them. I honestly, unfortunately for the enthusiasts, and I am one of you, I think we might be done with seeing that. I think, if you really want one of those V8s or V6s, get a Raptor, get a TRX, pay even more money, and that's it. And that's what the guys that want that kind of horsepower, that's exactly what they're doing. And that's just kind of the world we find ourselves in. So I don't see a complaint there, but I do get it. Trucks are expensive. I don't know how you love one like this and then get into one, because personally, I couldn't even justify it. There's no way that I could justify spending $80,000 on a truck. It's just a truck that's only going to go down in value, unfortunately. It's not one of these special ones that would go up. Yeah, it's a high price point, but you're probably still going to see one or two in the road, because there are people that are interested in it, and it's kind of where we'll leave it. I do really like the platform. I think it's a great truck. I think this would be a beast in the winter. Really fun to drive for a week. I'm so glad I got the opportunity. Thanks so much to Chevrolet for setting that up. I am glad I got to check it out, even if it is only a 2023 version, because they changed the name to the Bison in 2024, but doesn't matter. Really good pickup truck if you can afford it. Then there is a full review out on the channel right now, and if you want to know what it's like to live with, stay right here, or any other car, stay right here. I've got so many videos of that every car I do, I kind of show you what it's like to live with, as well as a review. So we're doing 2 videos a week. I post every Wednesday and every single Friday. I try not to miss, so make sure you subscribe and like for that. And with that being said, I will see you next week. See you in the next car. Take care.